Good morning, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving to you that are celebrating Thanksgiving this year. Today is Thanksgiving Day. As you can tell, it's cold here. I got the old green turtle skull cap on. So I wanted to bring you back, show you some things we're doing to the RV. I'll do a little walk on the inside real quick, but hang tight. Let me roll that intro, and then we'll be back and I'll show you some stuff we've done to the inside and some stuff we're doing to the outside. So stay tuned. Okay, welcome back, guys. So want to do a little recap on the inside of the RV here. We've made quite a few changes. For those that are new to the channel, thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, so when we do more updates on this Riverstone, you'll get notified and maybe you'll see something that'll help you. Like I said, for those that don't know, I have a 2024 Riverstone 4513 DST. This is a toy hauler. It was made for 2 years, 24 and 25. To my knowledge, it's no longer made. It was a floor plan that was been currently discontinued that I'm aware of. If you know different, let me know. But we bought the toy hauler. We really liked it. We thought it was something that we would enjoy more. And then, of course, you know, we were on the fence back in 24. Did we want a toy hauler, or did we want to purchase, you know, something with more living space? We decided to go with a toy hauler because we do carry in our golf cart and bikes and, you know, things of that such. And then after we've got the toy hauler, we realized that we really wanted the living space. And like I said in another video, trade-in wasn't an option with the depreciation. We just weren't currently in a situation to, you know, financially to do anything different. So we do like we always do. We make it what we want it to be. So I'm going to flip you around real quick on the camera, and I'll give you a quick walk through the inside. It's still under construction a little bit. We're finishing up some stuff on the interior. And then we'll go outside and I'll show you some things that we're changing that we've currently already done in the past. And I'll explain that here in a minute. So start right here at the front door. We'll spin you guys around. So as you can see, it's a lot different from the last video. There's still a few things in here. So now as you walk in the front door, here, these are the steps leading up to the bathroom and the bedroom up top. So this is the main entry door. Originally, when you walked in, this was theater seating right here. There was 2 chairs here, 2 recliners. We took that out, built a desk. So now that you can see a little more cleared out from the last video, you can kind of see how the desk works. We got nice drawers here, slide out drawers. I did buy this cabinet from one of the big box stores and just modified it, cut it shorter, made it more of like a desk profile, so it's more of a desk height. Butcher block top, bought this off Amazon. It's about 1 inch thick. It comes about 25 by 5, so we cut it, made it shorter. Perfect workstation. The electrical and all was originally here from Riverstone, so we don't have to change any of that. Like in the other video, you can kind of see the dinettes come together a little more. Built a bench here, 2 bar top height stools here, table, same butcher block material as on the desk. Just cut it to length here, stained it, put some poly on it to sort of, you know, protect it and clean up easy. Attached it to the wall here, and then we went and had a leg made. This leg is nothing more than just rigid conduit that we bought from the hardware store. We put screwed on ends. It's got screws and stuff in it, and then we just had it cut and threaded at the hardware store, and they did all that for us. Moving here into the kitchen, this is the original spot for the refrigerator. Didn't try to change that because the electrical and the plumbing was dedicated. This is the original island. We had originally planned to move this, and I did move it, and then realized one of the plumbing pipes was not going to work correctly, so we ended up putting it back and then reconfigured this space. Over here, this is all original. So the microwave and stove, and this is original configuration. This is original and original. This is what we added here. So we have a ton more storage. We custom built all these cabinets bought the doors, bought the doors from cabinets, and then I custom built the boxes to make it fit the space. So now this kitchen has a ton of storage. As you can see, tons of storage in here. We kept this light. This light was original to this space. It is a motion sensitive LED light, so we kept that. Just put it back where it went. Under here, we added this light. This light was not here originally. We added that light and then put that, so now it looks, you know, all factory. We came in here with the green tile backsplash. This is actually glass backsplash, just like Riverstone did. Added some cabinetry here, a lot more storage. So now you got pots, pans, cooking utensils and things of that such down there. And then here, more storage here. Got some baskets with some dog stuff and, you know, some camping supplies and stuff in there. And here, now this cabinet here is one cabinet. We did buy this cabinet from the hardware store. We cut it and modified it so it fit in the space and the slide. So we made it a little shallower. Notched it for this because this is actually a cabinet that goes outside for the outside television. So we rebuilt that, made this shorter, cut the cabinet so it has this up and over profile, which created this shelf. We got the Dyson hung in here. There was an electrical outlet already here from the factory, so we didn't have to change that. We just cleaned it up and moved it over and then put the wall back. So now you got a place to plug in the Dyson that's in the kitchen, which in my opinion is where it should have been all along, not in the bedroom closet. So there's that. So there's you walk into here now. Now we walk into the garage. The garage is still under construction, but it's mostly ready. So one thing we changed in here, and of course it gets a little quieter in here, is the flooring. We took up all the rubber mat flooring in here and put down this faux, you know, wood look linoleum. Pulled it up, put down some underlayment, and then laid that on top of it. Painted the walls, so the walls are more of a light gray, neutral color. So as you can see, it's a little different transition in the color from the white valance to that. Took out the Happy Jack system. We had originally made the Happy Jack back here. You know, we had desks on both sides that you could move up and down. So we had a desk over here, and then we had a desk over here. We completely removed the Happy Jack system 100%. Took the brackets out, put all that stuff in storage. We did keep the bed. So the bed's still here. So if we have guests that come over, or, you know, right now our daughter travels with us. But if we have guests, we still have this queen size bed here. It still works and functions just like it's supposed to. We did go in here and lower these brackets to the lowest setting, which was just one more setting down. So the bed comes down about 2 more inches lower. So we did do that. Here, this cabinet here originally was a box, speaker box. Had a speaker in the middle with a piece of wood. If you go look at this floor plan or some other videos, you'll see that. Like I explained in the previous video, we built this box in, reinforced this wall here. In the future, there's going to be a mini split hanging here. So this middle section here will get reconfigured again when we're ready to do that. This is the TV and the fireplace original location. As you can see, we're getting ready for Christmas, about to take a trip at the end of December, so we're kind of getting it ready for that. But this was originally the framework for what was in the kitchen originally, where the living room kitchen combo room was. This is an aluminum structured framing that Riverstone built, so it was very lightweight, so we repurposed it into this room. The only thing I did was I made it a little bit wider, so the aluminum framing is about half. I've built it out to make it wider, just to give it a more of a wider profile, evened it on both sides, did that. So the TV and the fireplace use the original stuff in there. All we had to do was take the electrical wiring that was for the fireplace, because that was a dedicated 12-volt circuit with, 120-volt circuit with, you know, dedicated breaker just for the fireplace. So we did relocate that wiring in the underbelly, brought it in here, put a hole in the floor, mounted a receptacle behind the fireplace for it to plug in and be dedicated, so we didn't lose, you know, what Riverstone did. So as far as the breaker box being reconfigured, the television and all, There was a television that hung here originally between these two cabinets when I built this in. Removed the TV, cleaned all that up. The coax cable and all the data stuff and the electrical stuff, we moved over into this cabinet, which is where now the television and all is plugged in. So we didn't have to change any of that. There was already electrical there. There was already satellite connection and already a cable connection up there. So it made it so much easier to do that. All this electrical here retains its stock location. This is for the outdoor Polk audio stuff to go outside, receptacle, or the light switches for all in here, bed lift control. Didn't have to change any of that. Like I mentioned in the previous video, there's your Polk audio. All that electronic stuff is routed through the ceiling and then goes up and down to the outside speakers. We are going to relocate the speakers. There was a speaker here, and there was a speaker there, and there was like a little subwoofer that was mounted on the bottom here. All that stuff is going to be relocated outside in waterproof enclosures in the underbelly later down the road. But we wanted to put all this stuff back where it stopped, had to put it back to the stock location because all of that electronic components, as you can see, there's an amplifier in there and a control, I guess like a control module that's for wireless. It's not wireless remote control, but it actually has like its own dedicated cable, remote cable that goes from the control panel here up there, and all that stuff was routed in the walls and through the ceiling. There's no sense in like reinventing all that. It was already there. We just left it there and redid it. So it's working out pretty good. But I'm going to take you outside real quick and show you what we're doing on the inside of the basement out there. All right, let's walk outside out here. Hopefully you guys can hear me. It's fall. Guys are blowing leaves. So what we done originally in here, I'm going to turn you guys around. And here we go. Here we go. All right, so this is the basement. I've already started taking the basement back apart. We actually had Moride slide trays in here. We put a Moride tray here, and I actually had built a tray for over there that off some wood and some slides that I bought off Amazon. I've recently learned that Moride now makes a 29 by 36, which will fit here. So we're going to purchase another Moride slide tray to go out that side. We're going to rebuild these walls again. I've already done this once before, cleaned all this up. Despite how terrible it looks in here, the mess, this is pretty much what the inside of the RV looks like. Just kind of how the crow flies. We did go in and redo all this in the past in some other videos. Go back and check those out. You'll notice this is a huge improvement. But we're going to once again improve this even more and maximize more space back here as far as how this goes. This manifold system is going to be removed. We're going to get rid of that entirely. It's not needed in my opinion. I think it's a waste of time and money. Like I mentioned, nobody wants to run out here at 2 o'clock in the morning and try to empty the basement out to turn off a water valve. So we're going to reconfigure all that and get rid of it. So that's about all there is in here to show you at that point for now. So the reason to get rid of the manifold system, you know, I've mentioned it in other videos. There's only a few cutoffs in this RV that are on the interior. The washer and dryer have dedicated cutoffs at the washer and dryer, and there was one originally for the dishwasher. We've since added some in the bathroom because we've done some replumbing of the system. But we're going to go back and as we do these projects and open up more panels and do things, we're going to change all the PEX over. So the PEX are going to get replaced with new PEX. And then all the connections they do in a Riverstone, a lot of the other manufacturers are using a more high quality brass connectors. So we're going to switch it to a brass connector. I just feel like that's a much better product than plastic. Not that I've had any issues, but I have had, it's plastic. It's going to go bad eventually. So we'll walk over here and I'll show you this water heater here. So what we're going to do over here is this Riverstone came with, from the manufacturer, a Truma AquaGo Comfort. It is a tankless water heater. I'll see if I can show it to you right here. The product worked. It did work really well. And it's probably my fault that it doesn't work well anymore. last year I wasn't aware of how to winterize the water heater, so unfortunately it froze and busted. I did winterize the coach, didn't have any issues in the coach or on the interior, but after it thawed out last year, the water heater did unfortunately suffer, to the cold last year, and it busted. There's a little surge tank and some other little components in there. It did freeze those, so we're going to change those out. And we've recently learned that Aqua Hot manufacturers you see in a lot of your high-end motorhomes, some of your luxury motorhomes and other products, has recently just introduced to the market an LP tankless furnace, just like the Truma. The thing I don't like about the AquaGo is when it froze and busted, you can't get parts for it. We contacted our dealer, and the dealer fortunately was able to get the surge. There's a little reservoir tank about the size of a soda bottle in there that holds some water for, I guess, scald protection or something. They were able to get that component, but there was some other components in there, some little flow mixer valves, electronic ceramic pieces. Truma does not sell some of those components. It's replace only, like you have to replace the whole unit. So I contacted a local dealer here to me, and the AquaGo is, to replace it, it's $2,000. Now, I did find parts on eBay. I was able to find some used items for some RVs that were salvaged, and some people were, salvaging parts. So we were able to get it fixed. But the problem I've got with it now is there's some temperature sensors in here. I think there's a like a overheat protection kind of thing. You can use the water heater. It'll work for a while, and in between showers or whatever, mainly between showers, it'll throw a code. It'll go into a fault mode, and it'll basically say water's above operating temperature, like 180 degrees, and then you could come out here and put a thermometer, a temperature gun on it, and shoot it with an infrared gun, and it'll be at like 120, which is where it's supposed to operate. So I feel like that the sensor probably was damaged when it got too cold, and it gets a false reading. You can't buy that sensor. I've looked it, I've researched it, got numbers off of it, and have been completely unsuccessful in trying to find something that works like it. So we contacted the dealer and got a price on a brand new replacement one, because it's very aggravating, because it'll be in the middle of the night, you're taking a shower, and the next person jumps in for the shower, and in the middle of their shower or whatever, it'll go into fault mode. And when it goes into fault mode, it quits producing hot water. So you have to come outside, open the door up, turn it on, turn it off, reset it, and then it goes to working fine. And it might do that for one day, day and a half, and then it does it again. About every day it does it. It's just very frustrating. So we learned that Aqua Hot has designed a furnace replacement. That's a 65,000 BTU LP furnace. It's new to the market. It just came out. The one thing that I like about it, I say I like about it, it is a recirculation system, and that's one of the reasons we're taking out the manifold. Truma makes two versions. They make an AquaGo and an AquaGo Pro or Plus. I think it's AquaGo Plus, not Pro. And it actually has a recirculation mode to where the water is at the faucet, the fixture is hot instantly. You don't have that lag of purging the cold water out of the line. It's instant hot. It has a loop like a racetrack. You build a racetrack into the system. Most of these RVs are not built with a racetrack design of hot water, so we're going to put an extra hot water line in that will circulate the hot water. The thing I like about it, obviously it's made by Aqua Hot, which is a product that's been around for a long time. It's a company that is used in some of these higher end RVs, these multi-million-dollar RVs. Their products are put in those, so I feel like it's going to be a good product. Not to mention, it was half the price. The Truma was $2,000 to replace it. I was able to buy the other one for half the price, brand new, everything. And I had to buy a new door because the door it has a new panel that goes there. So they had to purchase a new door, but it fits directly into this space right in there. So I'm excited and I'm anxious to see how it works. But anyway, I've rambled on long enough. I'm going to get back to work. I'll show you some updates as soon as I have some. But basement's getting reconfigured. New slide trays on the way. We're moving the brakes around. The brake controller for the Dexter stuff that's here is going to get relocated to the front. I'll show you a little quick of that. Changing all this is getting changed. This is where the MPS 5500 watt inverter generator is. I actually have fixed the solution to that. So stay tuned for that. I'll show you an update on that, how I fixed this. If you have an MPS 5500 and it's constantly giving you problems with all this bad fuel, I know people are going to say don't put ethanol-based fuel in it. I mean, it's hard to not find ethanol-based fuel. It's hard to find, you know, anything that's not ethanol-based unless you fill this thing up with fuel cans, and it holds like 30 gallons of fuel. So 30 gallons of fuel in a fuel can is just really not practical. And trying to find a gas station that you pull this behemoth in is not practical. So what I found was put a cutoff valve on it. Cutoff valve at the fuel line, which they should have done, run it dry, and then just let it run. You're going to come out here and test it every couple of weeks anyway. Let it just turn the valve off, let it run dry. I've not had any problems since I did that last year. Up to that, every couple of weeks I'd come out here and test it, and it wouldn't start. It crank up and run, cut off, flood the fuel system. So finally I put a cutoff valve in it last year. Back earlier this year, I think it was. I turned the valve off. I put a valve right there. I can't show it to you in the picture, but there's a little plastic cutoff valve. You can get them on Amazon. Little lawnmower shutoff valve, like $10. It might not have been that. It might have been $5. Put it, installed it right there in the line coming in. Turn it off. Just let the generator run till it cuts itself off, and that way it drains all the gas. It uses all the gas, so you don't have that old fuel sitting in there causing corrosion, because that water-based fuel, ethanol, you know, corn-based, it corrodes these metal parts, and then it gets sludged up, and then when you go to use it, obviously it don't crank. So put yourself a cutoff valve on this. This little generator's not bad. I kind of judged a book by its cover. I wasn't happy with it when I first got it, but I've since used it, and it works great. I love how it does invert power, so it actually ramps up as it's needed. So if you're boondocking and it's cold and you're not running your units, roof units, which this will run 2, will not run all 3, it will run 2 very conservatively. If you run 2 units with it for some reason and you turn on other appliances, you know, dishwasher or whatever, like the other 120 volt appliances, it will put this thing at its max. It's about a 30 amp setup, so just be careful with that. But like I said, we're doing some new updates to this thing. We're going to do mini splits across in the back and all in the front, which will bring our power consumption way down on wattage, so that it should help this thing, you know, be more efficient. But anyway, I've rambled on long enough. Like I said, sorry about the blur and the glare in the back, but stay tuned. I appreciate you guys watching this video. I'm going to get back in here, destroy some more stuff, put it back the way I like it to be. So I hope you guys will come along in this next multiple videos. We're doing all kind of underbelly stuff. So I'm going to show you all kind of things under there. New axles are coming. We're putting Dexter torque axles underneath the torque axles. I do have an update for this. This is getting replaced, and I'll show you in another video what we're putting in. I'm very excited to see how the new pin box gets replaced. We're upgrading this to a new product that just came out. Stay tuned, and I'll show you in another video what that's going to be. Appreciate you guys watching. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that the next time we get a video, if you want to see what this is, you got to stay tuned. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.